Okay. Sorry about that. My camera was acting a little funny and it didn't register that it was on until like 5 seconds in. So yeah. Today is week 14. As of today, I am 14 weeks. So not much has changed. Last week I did feel a little sick. But it felt more of a actually sick feeling more than just a pregnant and I don't feel good, I'm gonna vomit feeling. Um, so now that I'm over that, I'm feeling a lot better. I do expect in the next couple of weeks or so to start feeling tired because that's when I usually feel really tired, is in the second trimester. But something else that has also started is insomnia. I had it really bad with my first child. It was so bad that I would stay up till 6 or 7 in the morning and then sleep all day. And because I didn't work and I didn't have a baby, I could do that. So I think I'm going to have to use the Unisom for the intended purpose because I cannot stay up all night and uh, play on the computer or do all that and sleep all day because my husband does work and I do have stuff to do. So, yeah, that's one thing that has started to develop. Um, I'm just really glad that I'm feeling better, and I am really excited for my appointment on the 11th. I can't wait. Also, Happy New Year to you guys. I hope that this one will be a good one for y'all. So, I know it's going to be very challenging for me. So, and I know there's a lot of mothers who are pregnant out there or who are trying to conceive out there. And I really pray for you guys that 2011 will be your year. Someone sent me a message asking me about, I guess, my fertility, um, and if I've had any issues in trying to conceive and whatnot. No. I've never tracked my period at all. Basically, it came between the 15th and the 20th of every month. I've always had a couple days here and there. It could come 3 days early or 3 days late to a week late. So I've never tracked it. I've never taken OPKs. The only thing I've ever had to pee on was pregnancy tests, and I got married at 18. I'm 21 now. So I've taken quite a few of those because, when you're not trying to get pregnant but you are married, or you are sexually active, that is something that you do worry about. Because accidents do happen and things, you can't always control it. But other than that, I've never tracked my period. I've never taken my basal body temperature. I've never done anything like that. It's always just been, no, I don't want to have a kid, so we use birth control. My main form of birth control has always been condoms, but after this baby, I am planning on getting the hormonal IUD, because I really just don't want another kid in the next 5 years. I will have two, by that time. My first one will be 5 and my second one will be 4. We might decide to have another kid then, maybe a year or so before the 5th year. But I don't want to have one in the next 2 years. I really want to give my body time to rest and more time as myself and as a parent to get the hang of motherhood. I mean, I am not a bad mother at all, but there are still things that some things come natural and some things just don't. And I really just want to get, I guess, in my rut of motherhood and not be running all over the place with 3 kids that are all a year apart and all that. So I do want to get on actual birth control this time. And that is something that I have been really heavily thinking about. I know I'm not responsible enough to take pills. And it's not even that I'm responsible enough, but because I do have such a horrible memory. Anyways, not just when I'm pregnant, the pill makes no sense. The pill is a good way for me to end up pregnant again. I don't like Depo, and I've heard really bad things about Depo, so the shot is not for me either. The patch, not all too thrilled with the patch, or NuvaRing. So, basically all pills are out, and I did think about the implant called Implanton, but there has been, I have done a little more research because I was really interested in that, and the research I have done has showed that people who come up on the, because it's staying for, is it 5 years? I think it's 5 years. I think it's the same thing as Mirena, except for it goes into your arm, and it's just like a little bar. I imagine it's not, much bigger than maybe a bobby pin. I assume it's a lot shorter than a bobby pin. It's just like one of those light tubes, just tinier in size and dimensions and everything. But they said coming up on the 5 year, if you don't get it out, taken out in time, it can cause infertility. And at that point, I don't know right now when I will have more kids. I would like to have more kids, but if it comes along and I don't want more kids, I want to be able to make that decision and not have it, a birth control made that decision for me because I messed up and I didn't get it taken out. So that's that. As far as my first son, no, I had no problems at all conceiving him. I was actually shocked in the way that it happened because my husband was in basic
AIT.
He was in basic and AIT, and he had left in September of '08, and he had gotten home in February of '09. You hear stories about people trying to conceive for years, sometimes months, and I figured, well, it can take months for me to get pregnant, some, years. So I had my period on the 8th. It came actually really early, and I was having a really weird situation with my periods going on, because in December I didn't have a period till really late. I had it around the 28th actually, and then I guess it was because I was stressed out that my husband was gone and all that, because I had been having them late in November as well, in October. So I was thinking there was a possibility that, I might have been pregnant. And then in January, I didn't even get one at all. So February, I got a really early period. It started on the 8th, and I left on the 9th to drive to Missouri. And when we got home on Valentine's Day, my period had stopped. So it was really just kind of like a weird period, I guess. I wasn't used to it because my periods they come on time. They are usually 3 days to 4 days. Sometimes they last 7. It just depends on the flow. And then we had started trying to get pregnant because we had really decided, we had been married for about 2 years and it was time for us, to have a baby. So we started trying, and I had some ovulation tests that somebody had gave me, and I had taken them, and I took them around the 26th, I want to say, and they're supposed to be, the line is supposed to be as dark as the control line or darker, and it was lighter. And I had taken them for about 3 days, and each day or every other day I had taken them 3 every other day, and as the days went by it would get lighter, so I had already figured I ovulated. In March, no, hold on. In March, I had started a new babysitting job, and my friend had asked me to take a pregnancy test. Sorry, because she wanted to scrapbook. So I went to the bathroom. It was late in the day. It wasn't my first morning urine at all, and I had taken the test. And I watched the pee go across, because you know it goes across, and the one line started showing up and it started getting darker, and I was like, okay, I'm not pregnant. So I walk out, and at this time my living room was all arranged way different than it is now, and where my TV was, there was the desk that we have, and I slid it across the desk and I said, there's your negative test. And she got this really funny look on her face, and we had had a chair at this time. We had really weird furniture, and she had gotten up out of the desk chair and sat in the chair and had this grin on her face. And I'm just looking at her like, what are you doing, you know? Why are you smiling like that? Then I walk over to the desk, and there's 2 lines where there was 1 line, and I started freaking out. So, it actually only took about 2 weeks of trying to get a positive test. So all my pregnancies have just been, you know, I have unprotected sex and get pregnant. So like I said, I've never tracked them. I've never had problems with my periods. I mean, not that I've had problems with my periods, but I've never, apparently have problems conceiving. So that's how that happened. But other than that, this week has just really been, not all too thrilling or enthralling or whatever you want to call it. And nothing's really changed besides the fact that I am starting to get insomnia, which is not uncommon for me at all. And I am starting to expect to feel tired in the next couple weeks, you know, during the day. So that's it. That's all for this week's update. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe and rate, and I will see you next week. Bye.